G'day subscribers and welcome to FJ Holden Jive, talking you with Jules Knight from Nasco based Speed Shop as we do the last of our episodes before we hit winter of 2020. Today's pretty much all Nasco actually. I'm not even thinking about introducing else except just the genuine stuff. Now I had mentioned the electrical emergency kits before, and I've got one, even though it's not in great condition. But you know, I've had a good one before, and I also bought a really good one as a gift from my friend Tony Manganaro for helping me one day. But I just wanted to tell you from the salesman's brochure what is actually in it. We've got the distributor cap, a rotor, a condenser, 2 spark plugs. I thought there was one, but there's 2 AC spark plugs in it. 1 distributor set of points, 1 headlight globe, 1 taillight globe, and 5 fuses. Now, by 1954, which is when this sheet was issued, you could have 5 different types. You had Delco Remy for both Guide and Lucas, and you had 3 different types of Bosch contents. One was for Guide, one was for Lucas, and one was for Bosch. So 5 different types, 5 different part numbers, and it just depended upon what lights you had in your car. And I would suggest that is probably based on what your headlights were. So, you know, that's the Nasco electrical emergency tin. Now, in the 50s, 48 to 1956 and panel van to 1957, they didn't come standard with a radio. We know that FX and FJ were a pretty stock standard car. Now, they had 3 different types of radios at least. There was the Air Chief 5, so they're talking about the number of valves really. Air Chief 5, and that was not as powerful as the 6. 5 was just really for around town. They were saying it was economical and to be used by the motorists to enjoy whatever the radio station was at the time. But Air Chief number 6 was for the country driver. You know, someone like a travelling salesman or a taxi driver, most notably somebody who had a business sedan, the 48215 or the FJ215, and you can see the kit that they used to actually install them. There was the tipped aerial, the actual unit itself, the speaker underneath the grille, and obviously the fascia that sat on the front. Well, I've actually got one to be able to show you now. So this is the second one I've had. Now, if we have a good look at it, I mean, they're a pretty chunky type of unit. And now this one's a special because it's got the black tuning knobs on it. Whereas for my Ute, it actually had the white one. So I'll decide whether I keep the white or keep the black, or whether I use this or whether I don't. But one of the things I noticed when I was going through the 48215 workshop manual is this part on the back. Now, what I had to do with mine is the FX workshop manual actually had a diagram for where to drill the hole in the firewall for the bracing, or for this to actually be connected for the dash here, and where to get support from the firewall there, so it was actually supported itself, because these are actually quite a heavy unit. Now, you can buy the radio station plastic insert that goes along here. Now, for each state, they were very different. In Melbourne, you had the everything started with a 3, 3XYs and whatever. Sydney, 2s, 2SM and so on. Brisbane, 4BC, 4BK, 4IP, 4KQ, all that sort of radio station call signs. So, they were screen printed across the plastic that went across there. Now, you actually can buy them. They are now available. So that's a really good thing. But this is quite heavy. Now, the aerials are different. The aerials are like a screw-in or a screw-on type of fitting on the aerial. Now, I remember that well because I actually had to... I got one from Carlisle and Thompson. The owner there was very nice. and I think he took pity on me actually, and he just, yes, I know what you're talking about, son. I've got one of those. So this is the late 1980s I'm talking about, when I was putting my ute back together again. And I always remember Carlisle and Thompson up near Metro Ford. The fella had a voice like velvet, and he was so kind to help me. But anyway, look, I just want to turn our attention to another Nasco accessory. Now, I've bought two of these. Now, the first one I bought when I went to Bendigo in 1985. So I drove down from Brisbane with my mates Michael and Emile, and we went to the Bendigo swap meet. And I had it on the brain that I wanted the alloy tappet cover. I was sure I was going to get an alloy tappet cover, and this has happened to me twice now. I couldn't actually believe it, because these alloy tappet covers, they say, well, under what is it? A light aluminium alloy valve rocker cover is what they call them. And what it does, it reduces noise level of the valve tappets whilst providing underbonnet beauty. And its features are its sales features, so it's telling the salesman how to sell it. Attractive satin finish cover will appeal to all Holden owners. It beautifies appearance of the engine, will not rust because it's alloy, almost unbreakable and will not distort, thereby providing a leak-proof seal. Thick walls of cover minimise engine noise, and the zinc-plated filler cap is available to match the cover. So that's the salesman's blurb on it. Now it's got two part numbers. Now for £5, £5 is M31527, which is the actual aluminium alloy valve rocket cover itself, and the oil filler cap. Now that alloy, I actually had one when I first got my ute, because I had a WEY alloy tappet cover on it when I bought it. That's how I bought it off Horst Effenberger, and that is 740-3394, 740-3394, but it's got ZP after it, ZP. So I would say that's probably zinc plating. So they're denoting that. But let me say, this is what they look like. So, you need to put the grommets in there and there, and you can, Emile gave me some, so I've got some for there. This goes straight on, and it's quite thick. This one in particular has already been water blasted and polished, and Lachlan's already given it a hit with the auto soles. So this one will be going on the motor that's in the cradle, and you can see the reinforcing that's done actually underneath. So it's been beautifully constructed. I'm definitely going to run this. I don't care what motor I have, but I like running these on my both stockies have had them, so I'll definitely be running this one on there, because I'm pretty thrilled to actually get this one. Now, when I first went to Bendigo, I was hell bent on trying to buy one, and literally the third stall that I walked into from the main gate, it actually had one. And I forget, in 1985? Yeah, 1985, on their 10th anniversary, I probably paid the princely sum of, I don't know, it might have been $60 or $80 or whatever, and that was a lot of money then. But where do you find the real McCoy? Now, don't forget, Nasco didn't make anything. These are all shopped out to vendors who actually put these together, actually make them for Nasco and then market them. So they'll market them with the Nasco branding on the back, and also without the Nasco branding on the back. So really, they are what they are. Now, the last Nasco thing I wanted to show you before we sort of wrap up and run out of time, but it was the accessory, which is the suitcase set for Holden. Now, this is a luggage set, and what it actually entails is two suitcases, a large and a small, a hat box, so that's the hat box, and an overnight bag. Now, on the instructions here, it's saying, there's one colour, but I've had a look in the accelerators and there's about 4 different combinations. But 740-5371, 740-5371, Holden suitcase set, brown with fawn piping. So that would be the piping, the lining around it. And I realise that this is a photocopy just to give folks a bit of an idea, but really that's what it is. Now, they talk about what it was made out of. They say, the storage in the home is facilitated by nesting of the medium case inside the large case. So you put one inside the other to minimise space, and so that they're looking to take up approximately 50% of the area as they try and get things really condensed. They're saying it's manufactured from high-grade Swedish fiberboard and bound with steel and leather, and they're most attractive and more than favourable as they compare in price to cases from similar construction available from the larger city emporiums, your Myer and David Jones and those sorts of things. But in Queensland, we would call them a port. Now, this is one that's similar. Now, I don't have Nasco on here or anything like that, but I picked this up at the Toowoomba swap meet, and you can sort of see what the construction is like inside of these ports or this luggage. Really, they are pretty sturdy. I really like how they're made. I'm actually going to use this one in my ute, in my panel van, if for nothing else to keep all the doodads in for its little display and stuff like that. But I really like it. I think it's quite attractive. It sort of fits in with the era and the time period. So I'm pretty happy with that. Now, just as a very quick and little addition, when I was at that swap meet at Toowoomba, I also found these, and I thought this was a lovely little accessory. Now, what it is these are like feeler tongs that screw onto the bottom of your guard, and what happens is they've got a big spring on them, and the spring goes out like a needle, and they attach on the side of your car. So if the side of your car comes near the gutter, well then these will just go doing and make a bit of a noise, and it tells you that you're close to the gutter and you don't hurt your wheels. So I just thought that was a great little thing from the Toowoomba swap meet that I just bought from one of the stall holders there. So I was deliriously happy with that as I was there with Nathan and Georgia as we were going around. But really, that sort of maxes us out for episode 41 of Jive Talking. I hope you've enjoyed us talking about the electrical emergency kit, the Tappet cover, the radios, the luggage, and the little feelers. So, folks, enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. I'd like you to give us a like, share, and subscribe, but more importantly, enjoy your Holden.